And now, from the Sunnybrook Ballroom in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, it's the Bring 'em Out podcast with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom inside the podcast studio with another episode of Bring 'em Out. I'm Alan Hill, here with Soul Joel himself, Joel Richardson. We are flying solo, buddy, and you have an exciting evening to talk about, my friend.
Oh, buddy, well, we have a lot of stuff happening. So first of all, end of the school year, my twin nieces.
Oh, yes.
I come up the stairs, one's wearing a Soul Joel shirt, and they both are ready to recite jokes.
Okay.
They came up, it was International Joke Day.
Okay. So they are loaded and ready.
Loaded and ready, but they didn't want to do it. And my sister, their mom, obviously, go, your uncle owns a comedy club. There's no way you're not doing this.
So they have to go to school and recite jokes. This is the thing.
They're show and tell. Yeah,
Okay.
they're going to do this. And so they have their jokes, and I'm holding their French bulldog, Killian. Okay? And he gives them nothing. Obviously, he's a dog.
He gives them nothing.
Yeah. So I said, what did the dog say to Uncle Joel? Today's going to be a rough day. Okay?
Busting out the A material.
Yeah. I just thought about it on the fly.
It's so awesome.
I'll see myself out.
I love it, dude.
I'm an uncle, but that was a dad joke.
I love it.
No good. So I come to find out, Grace goes inside and goes to her mom. What did one dog say to the other dog? Today's going to be a rough day. She rewrote my joke.
She punched you up.
She punched it up at 6 years old.
Your 6-year-old niece punched up a professional comedian's joke.
Yeah. Well, who got into producing, and she reminded me why.
That's amazing.
Went into school and told both jokes. The one my sister gave her and the one she made up.
And killed, I'm sure.
Killed. Crushed.
Beautiful.
Dude, how funny is that?
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
Dude, with timing.
That's amazing. Bring her out for Stone tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Dude, wild.
So awesome. Yeah, Gold Joel's niece. That's so
Oh my
awesome,
gosh.
man. That is so awesome.
Yeah, really cool, man. Yeah. Dude, lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of we had Soul Cruisers here last week. That was packed.
Dude, the dance floor that night
Packed.
was insane. It was so cool.
Yeah.
It was all these people boogieing down. You know, we had the Regs out there. My mom was dancing with the Regs, you know, with Monica and Jeanette and Linda and everybody. And but then there were so many people. I met a guy from Lancaster that I told you. He had a crew of people from Lancaster with him. He was so excited to find a good band to dance to.
Right. Which I'm hoping, and people for better or worse make fun of like, you want to keep attracting a younger crowd, but I think we attract who we attract.
And who comes out?
Who comes out,
dude? They're sitting in a corner with some kind of electronic device with a faint glow in their face. That's the closest they're going to get to a tan.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
The 60-year-olds know how to party, bro.
100%. Well, dude, here's even funnier. So, April Macy's here.
Yeah.
Right? The night before, she calls my girlfriend Lauren's parents, the dad, which she didn't know that they were my girlfriend's parents, sitting right up front.
Oh, this is during the show, and she's crowd working them.
It's Thursday night.
Okay, the charity night.
The charity night. Calls him Captain Crunch. First of all, he didn't know he looked like Captain Crunch. Second of all, he didn't know April was talking to him.
Oh my God,
he
that's so
thought
funny.
she was talking to someone behind.
As can happen.
The next night, she's here, Friday as well, goes to the green room, sees him out of the thing, and she goes, Captain Crunch. And I said, listen, just so you know, April was on stage tonight and called his favorite. He's the reason. Him and his wife are the reason why I hired Soul Cruisers.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's right. I did know that.
But you know that when comics come in, like they're like, oh my God, like even Ian Bagg came in was like, dude, this place is packed, and then realized he's doing the smaller room. and got outsold by Bingo.
You got to shuffle him over.
Yeah, even though that was a mystery night, I wasn't able to use his name. But comics are always going to be self-deprecating.
Of course, and then if you go like, so I'm in conference room B or whatever.
Exactly. And he goes, right. Exactly the point. She goes and calls them soul crushers.
That's a whole different
because
thing.
that's how she felt.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, meanwhile, she's doing this, and he goes, how could you? April, how could you? Like, call me Captain Crunch, but how can you call them? Dude, the guy who owns Soul Crushers, is standing there waiting to get paid.
Oh, wow.
Timing is everything.
Yeah. And then she saw the payment, and you crushed her soul even more.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, no, 100%. But I don't, I don't know if he even heard.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't putting he'll Soul Crushers. He might not.
Dude,
who knows?
It's so funny though.
Who knows?
So funny. Quick side note about April.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening to this week's Are You Garbage?
Yeah.
Rachel Feinstein's on it. Okay, because she's promoting her new special. She's making the rounds right now.
Yeah.
And who does she bring up as a very helpful early mentor? April Macy.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She mentioned a few others, but April was the biggest one that she mentioned. April's been doing it longer than Rachel, and she helped her out a lot in her early days, gave her some really good advice.
Really?
Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
I'm not surprised, but that's awesome.
Yeah. I love hearing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to, put some perspective on.
Oh, and dude, all joking aside, April crushed.
Dude, I keep missing her because of one reason or another.
Yeah.
I have to see her. Everything I hear about her, she'd be right up my alley.
Yeah,
and I know, and she's obviously friends with Christina Walkinshaw, who is hilarious. I saw her open up for Voss.
That's how I met her. Was through April.
Christina's really funny too, man.
Yep.
And if she's opening for April, April's got to be a killer. So.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. Dude, so Keith Robinson
here we go.
Invites me to his Netflix premiere. And I can only imagine that it was because I saw him at the Cellar, and he was telling James Manner he brought me back up just to see Chris D. So away from, because Louis, Sam Morril, Shane Gillis, all those guys just walked down.
And this was the night you were on Jim and Sam? Is
that the night after.
After you were on Jim and Sam in the morning.
Yep. Yeah. So I was still in town, stayed in town. I didn't know if I was going to get other podcasts, whatever.
Yeah.
Saul Soder, all those guys. But
that's so awesome.
But James brought me out of there because he's like, dude, let them sit down, get away from the table. You're not on the show.
Right.
You brought your girlfriend, whole thing.
Yeah.
So Keith goes, James, bring Joel and his girl back down. Show him you still got some juice. And I'm like, dude, I'm in the building.
That's so funny.
I'm hanging, without being on the show or paid admission. I'm just hanging in the back. Like, it's a privilege.
It's already a special privilege.
Special. But funny to Keith say that.
Dude.
So he texted me. I'm like, dude, I'm in. All right. I'm like, dude, can I get a +1? She's going to drive the whole thing. Great.
Real quick question. Where was the premiere?
So it was in like a theater, smaller than I thought.
Okay.
But it was almost like a venue that you go rent, like whether you want to have a meeting,
an event rental sort of thing.
Yes.
That makes sense.
But they had everything. Like they had a bar, they had like an open forum, and then downstairs they had this theater.
Oh,
and dude,
cool.
Maybe 50 seats.
Okay.
Real small.
That's super cool, man.
So
everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows everybody. I'm sitting there looking at the address, figuring out we're a block and a half away.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the thing and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to email.
Your confirmation?
Dude, I did what everybody does to me.
Right? Oh my God, that's so funny. I never even thought about it that way.
I know, Joel. I know this. But but we told you to email Ronan. Or we told you to do this. We told you to reserve tickets. Like, don't. Everybody knows Joel. Yeah, everybody knows Keith, too. This has been run by Netflix. You don't think. The guy's had 2 strokes. He's got enough going on.
Which, by the way, told him the name of the special now that you brought that
Different Strokes.
It's the greatest name of a special I've ever heard in my life.
And maybe the best hour he's had.
That's what everybody said. And we saw it here right before we did the special. It was within a month or two of filming,
and that's why I think
filming,
we also got invited to the taping because he ran his hour here.
Yeah.
It's appreciated. So Kevin Hart produced the last one. Amy Schumer produced this one.
Good Lord.
So I was 99% sure she was going to be there, but didn't know.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there I'm sitting at dinner, and I email the lady.
Well, you're trying to figure out what to do about this no confirmation maneuver.
She wrote back, I wish I could, but we're over capacity.
Oh shit, you're getting frozen out.
I'm currently going through a list to confirm. Anything opens up, I'll let you know.
Oh God, you've driven all the way to freaking Manhattan.
So listen, Keith ran the special at my club. I drove all the way from Philadelphia. I'm here. Anything you do. She wrote back. She goes, yes, but there's no more. Just 2. I go, no problem. I go, pay the check. I go, we're getting out of here. I go, we're getting there. It's supposed to start at 7. We were there at 6.
There you go. Yep. It can't be not the night to be the fashionably late dude.
Yeah, right. The list was there. I was
Joe List was there.
I was handwritten on it. Handwritten on
amazing,
the thing.
dude.
Last minute,
amazing.
Totally. Yeah. So I go, let's so they're like, just sit over there. When we start letting people in, 7, we'll go. Then some people started walking in. I go, let's go right now. I go, because we're going to get a seat. It's fine. Dude, Voss, Jim Florentine, Jim Norton, Michael Che.
Wow, man.
Granville walks in.
Granville Bazemore.
Yeah, so Granville comes over and he goes, oh, dude, because he actually went to the taping too. He opened up when Keith was did the special. So when he was here, he opened up for him, and then he went to the taping.
He opened up for the special?
He didn't open up for the special, sorry. So
no, okay, gotcha.
When he was here at Soul Joel's, running from the special,
and then he was at the taping.
He was at the taping.
That's awesome. Good for Granville.
So he was there, and he goes, dude, is it an open bar or is it a cash bar? Again, I was 90% sure that Netflix was probably picking it up. I didn't see anybody exchange money. But I'm like, you know what? I'm like, let's go over to the bar. If it is, I'll buy Granville a drink. So I look over to Granville, turn around to ask Lauren if she wanted anything, and sitting, like, right here, standing, Chris Rock and Amy Schumer.
Get the fuck out.
I go, Lauren, did you? She goes, yes.
Oh,
like,
man.
Yes. Like, and dude, I had been up in New York. Like, I had seen multiple times. Like, that's the first show I ever saw. I saw Chris Rock there, but Amy Schumer I'd seen a bunch of times in New York. Like, but it was like, it's awesome, man.
That's incredible.
Marina Franklin,
Jeez.
Mike Yard,
wow, man.
all these guys,
man.
Yeah,
That's
was
so cool, man.
It was cool to see how many people that he had there. You know what I mean? Like that there to support him.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool, and people love Keith.
Yeah,
like people love that.
Craig
guy.
Robinson.
Craig Robinson was there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
dude, like it was crazy.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
I mean, that blows me away, man.
On a Monday night.
That blows me away.
Yeah. And dude, he
was like Monroe Martin there.
Monroe
like
Martin.
That? Right
Monroe
on,
Martin.
Right on.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Chris Brown, who not the singer, the comic. Yeah.
Right.
Who came with Anthony Moore. Anthony Moore was there.
Anthony Moore's great. Yeah.
Yeah. They were all there. Anthony, obviously a Philly comic.
I assume Lemaire didn't get up from Texas.
No, he wasn't there. But like even girls like Aaron Jackson. What's the girl? Lives in L.A. now, from New York, last comic standing. She was just here. Zainab Johnson.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, she was great, man.
The girl who opened for Keith the first time he was at Soul Joel's over the pandemic.
Well, I wasn't at that one. Shoot.
Oh, you weren't?
I don't think so.
Outside. She's originally from Philly, but lives in New York now.
Okay.
I'll think of it. But yeah,
that's incredible,
dude. It was crazy.
I mean, just filled with some of the best comics on the planet. That's
yeah,
so cool.
yeah, dude. It was wild.
And Voss.
Yeah, dude. It was wild. Yeah, Voss was you could tell he was in a conversation that he didn't want to be in.
Oh yeah.
And he looked over and he goes, "I'll call you," and he grabbed my elbow.
That's awesome.
Like he wanted to know, I see you, but we'll talk later.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool, dude.
But his dude, the reason how he had the stroke is crazy. Do you know?
I don't think I know this. If I did, I don't remember.
Dude, so he has a first stroke, and he goes, "You call that a stroke? Nothing." He goes, then he had a second stroke. He goes, "This was a stroke." He flies to Arizona to see a girl. 20 minutes before touchdown, 10 minutes to go to the girl's house. He goes, 30 minutes, time to pop a Viagra. Yeah. That's how it happened.
I assume he didn't make it in time.
Dude, so he starts seeing blurry vision.
Oh, no.
All that stuff. And he goes, does he want to live or have sex?
So it was probably a tough answer for Keith.
He knocked on the girl's door.
He's just kidding. That's awesome. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
He goes, or do I want to live? And he goes, dude, he does the whole joke. And he goes, that's why it was different strokes.
Dude, and so did he... I'm trying to be delicate about this, but did they ever get to the sex part, or did he have to go to the hospital first?
According to him, it happened.
Of course it did. He's Keith Robinson.
Yeah.
Come on. Wow.
Wild.
Keith is a gem.
Dude, but it was an incredible night from start to finish.
That's so cool, man.
And to hear, dude, the energy in the room of other comics laughing and giving him love. There was no jadedness.
I love that.
No like, oh man, I should be on Netflix. It was a genuine response.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
And it's filled with, like you said, I mean, it's 50-ish people in this place. I mean, it's just filled with just incredible comics and people that love him to death.
Yeah.
And it's all respect. I think that's so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you were on that list, buddy.
Dude, wild. I didn't even think
good.
about that. Deanna said the same thing. I'm like, dude, she thought it was like a theater of like 400.
So did I.
She was like, how the hell did you get on the list?
I mean, I was like, that's really cool. But I'm imagining one of these big like premieres I see on, and there's 1,000 people or 500 or whatever.
Yeah.
The fact that you were on a list of 50, bro.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. And I don't take it for granted at all. And dude, Amy Schumer gave an unbelievable speech,
to introduce the special.
Introduce the special, basically like she saw Keith's new hour, wanted a piece of it, wanted to produce it. She goes, so Netflix gave us $5 to make it.
Nice.
Like, dude, they're wrong, but like working with the whole staff, it was great. And she goes, to know Keith is to hate him. To hate Keith is to love him. She goes, because you want to kill him, but you love him.
That's great.
And yeah, dude, it's really cool. You got to watch it. And he does crowd work in it too.
Really, a crowd work in a special? That's awesome.
Yeah, talking about he's like,
most people won't do that because they have their thing in their head exactly that they want to do. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
he was having fun, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so cool, man.
Yeah,
and Keith is as cool as it gets. I don't know if I ever told you this, man, but when he was here last time, all of a sudden everything had calmed down post show. The line, everybody that wanted to say hi was gone.
Yeah,
and I saw him just sitting in the hallway by himself for a minute because you were off dealing with stuff. You know what I mean? And I went over and I'm like, let's not leave the headliner alone here. So I went over and said hi to him, and he treated me like he knew me his whole life. And then he made me comfortable enough that at one point he said something that I felt comfortable enough to make a little stupid funny, and he laughed his ass off like I was actually funny. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I was like, because I was like, oh my God, the reputation of Keith. You know what I mean? Like if I fuck this up, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get hammered. And he laughed like I was actually funny, and I don't even remember if what I said was funny or not. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
But it was awesome of him.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I finally told him too what I said.
You mentioned this to me on the phone. Tell the people.
I was 6 months in, right, and I saw him at the Cellar introduce all these guys, everyone we've talked about: Louis C.K., Dave Attell, Wanda Sykes, like a show, Lisa Lampanelli, Greg Giraldo, like that kind of lineup.
And then, real quick perspective on this: what year-ish is this? Is this probably 06, 07?
Well, so that show that I saw was 1999.
Oh wow!
That's when, and then Chris Rock was like a.
And then when was the Keith night
right.
was?
So this was 2006.
Okay.
So and it was December 2006, in between Christmas and New Year's.
And Keith Robinson, just for perspective on this story, Keith Robinson started doing comedy in the late 80s. Continue.
Right. So yeah. So he's about 17, if not 20 years.
Yeah, he's pushing 20. Yeah, he's pushing 20.
And so I watched all those guys become like superstars, and I see Keith. It's in between Christmas and New Year's. I'm back home from New York visiting my family, as is he. And we're at the Laugh House down on South Street.
Okay.
No longer there. And he's talking to Rod, the owner. And I had a few drinks in me. So I had a little bit of liquid courage.
Old liquid courage.
Yeah, and I go up, hey, Keith, man, I've seen you so many times at the Cellar. I just want to tell you, man, you're really funny, and all you got to do is hang in there.
This is one of my favorite Joel stories, dude. I love this. Just hang in there to a guy who's pushing 20 years in comedy.
Who also, in 6 months of me performing, had been on TV more than I had performed on stage. He had more TV credits than I had been on stage and spoken into a microphone.
He was on Tough Crowd. He was on, wasn't he? He was Last Comic Standing at
that
one point.
Whatever.
He had the Soul Patrol or whatever. His old comedy troupe in the '80s with the fancy jackets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Dude.
He had a legacy already.
All of it.
He'd been on BET 1,000 times.
Yeah. But some white guy from South Jersey living in Staten Island.
Just hang in there.
Calling himself Soul Joel. Can you imagine?
That is so awesome, man.
Yeah, giving myself a nickname.
So I never heard what. So you told him this. How did he respond?
He goes, "What did I say?"
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I told him, and I go, "You were bragging to Rod. You were like, yeah, you just told me all. You hear this? All I gotta do is hang in there." And it was just, dude, it was great. Like,
that's
he
a priceless moment, man.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, he didn't like freak out or anything. Like
Yeah,
that,
no,
you know?
I told you he wouldn't. I knew he would love that story.
Yeah.
I knew he would love that story. Only because, man, once I actually sat down with him for 2 minutes,
Yeah.
Keith made a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
Because people talk about him in the New York scene like he's the scary boogeyman of comics. Like, don't fuck with Keith Robinson. He's the one that's going to get you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got as big a heart as anybody in the whole comedy world.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh no, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just happens to be awesome and
he's
good at ripping
great.
people. You know. But
Well, and in the middle of me trying to work this to get in,
yeah.
I texted him and he goes, "Dude, don't worry about it." He goes, "Come through." He goes, "I'll get you in." And he goes, "If you can't sit down, hang at me at the bar because I ain't watching my dumb face again." Which
is perfect.
It's on the middle of his special day, man.
Yeah, dude.
I can't imagine how much his phone was blowing up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that he took that kind of time on that day
to answer me
tells you what kind of guy he is.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. The best.
Now, the other funny Keith story, just to put this all in perspective, because it's the whole package with Keith, and he is dedicated to funny, and I love that type of person. The Rachel Feinstein story from when you remember when Colin did that special that ended up on HBO during the pandemic?
Oh yeah.
And everybody was in the cars.
Yep.
And they were on the waterfront. It was Bobby Kelly.
Yep.
Picked up Keith, and they were supposed to pick up Rachel. Rachel was pregnant at the time. She was like 6 months pregnant or something, doing that special. And Bobby picks up Keith, comes into the city because Bobby's up in Westchester or whatever. Gets into the city, picks up Keith. Keith, he says, "So how do I get to Rachel?" She goes, "She doesn't need a ride. She told me she's good." She didn't have a ride. Bobby had no idea. They just showed up at the special without Rachel because Keith thought it was funny. Now, Rachel, of course, got there, you know what I mean? And it was all good. But that's so funny to me. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that he just left a pregnant woman standing on the sidewalk just for a laugh tells you all you need to know about Keith, man, you know?
Dude, that's unbelievable.
Blows me away,
First
dude.
of all, it's one of their friends.
It's one of their best friends.
Second of all, she's a woman now going there by herself. Third of all, pregnant. Wait for it.
It's one of my favorites.
Expecting a baby.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
That's crazy. You did tell me that. I forgot about it.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Dude, that's wild. Dude, and stay tuned. We're going to do the Brett's Bits.
Oh, yes.
So if you guys haven't been around, Brett
Childs
is coming into his own, man. And I don't know if he's
awesome
always
guy.
had it or now has gotten more confidence.
Yeah.
And is starting to feel it a little more and is coming out of his shell.
I think it's that thing. I think it's always been there, but he's in a nurturing place now where people, I don't know how
he's in a safe space.
I don't know anything about his other job.
Yeah.
It's a mystery to me. I think he works out of the Batcave.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But he knows he's loved and respected here.
Yeah, so he comes to Pridezilla, okay? Lauren and I are sitting in the back. I'm running around doing whatever. Ronan's taking pictures. You know, I'm just in producer mode, whatever I need to do. But at this point, I'm just kind of and Brett comes in. He said he was just bored at his house, just wanted to come hang. So I said, "Yeah, no problem, man." I go, "By the way, if you want to go grab a Miller Lite at the bar, it's on me." He goes, "I'll be right back." Leaves, comes back. So then he's having a drink, and it was a week after I went down the shore.
Oh yeah, okay.
And dude, I forget this every year, and I don't know why, but we get sunburned. You know what I mean? And like it's been so many months, and you're like, I'm invincible.
Right.
You're like, dude, and it's like you're not. Even when you're outside, like, I guess you're going outside more when you're younger.
When you're a kid, you ease into it. Because
it.
you're outside with your shirt off all day long.
Yeah, gym,
you know what I mean?
or like, well, not gym, but like, but you're
yeah,
outside
you're at the pool,
whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to like peel, and Lauren is basically scratching my back in the back of the chair.
Which is heaven when you're in that mode.
Heaven is the best way to describe it. Okay? So I'm feeling however I'm feeling. Brett, I guess, heard it at this point.
Okay.
So, and he's sitting right next to me. So he looks over and goes, "You itchy?" That's it. Dude, with 2 words, the look, the question mark, everything.
Dude, the timing, the whole thing. I can see the look without seeing the look. You know what I mean? Like 100%. He's Brett, you're the best.
Yeah, the best. Yeah, he does. Why? He told me he watches this every week.
You're the man, bud.
Yeah.
Except his own episode, which I'm not sure he ever got through.
Hilarious.
And you should, because it was awesome.
He doesn't like his own voice.
Which, hey, dude, join the club. We all feel weird about our own voices, but you were awesome on your episode, buddy.
Yeah. Dude, so funny.
Yeah. So let's talk about Brett's Bites a little bit.
Yeah, so we're going to do it. So we're going to, right. I mean, I gave everything but what we're going to do. So every week we're gonna do a little segment. It's probably going to be less than a minute of a clip, a soundbite of Brett.
Just his random thoughts about, it could be something that got him fired up. Because Fired Up Brett is awesome. We love Fired Up Brett so much.
Yeah.
It could be about one of his passions, like the Scream movie franchise or horror movies in general, or maybe he tells us about one of his trips to one of the celebrity things he goes to, you know, and meets the people from Scream or whatever. You know
exactly.
what I mean? It could be anything.
And any of that.
It could be how he brushed his teeth that morning. That'll make it entertaining.
Exactly. No, exactly. 100%. Yeah, we'll see. But he always, because when he walks in, dude, I could be having the worst day. It's just like seeing you. You're infectious, man.
I appreciate that,
dude. But you're like you light up a room.
Yeah, both.
You know. Well, yeah. But when I'm.
But you're the one lighting up the room. You need somebody else to throw a little light to you.
Exactly. Yeah. So I see you no matter what. You're like but
that's
he
awesome.
walks in. Yeah, he walks in. He's got the movie star sunglasses.
Mavericks.
Yeah, and the Mavericks, and his, depending on how warm it is. Yeah, because he parks.
Still over by he still parks over by the Dome?
Oh, yeah.
I thought he might have stopped.
He might as well be parked at Royers for it.
Might as well just walk from his house.
Yeah. And he walks over, and he's like, "How are you?" Like, immediately smiling. Like, so awesome. Dude, you don't know what's going on in his world.
Yes.
But he knows it's the best place to be.
For sure, dude. 100% accurate. 100% accurate. Love the guy. You're the man, Brett. We love you here. And anybody that gets to know him has to love him. And if not, I don't want to know them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, 100. So we're going to do that once a week.
Brett's Bites, baby. Coming.
Brett's back.
It's coming.
Yeah. And I think you're going to like him as much as we do.
Yeah, I really do. And if you haven't seen his episode and you want to check him out, go back and check him out. It was not only was it entertaining like I expected it to be, but Brett was unexpectedly incredibly insightful and deep.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
Yeah, so look that up. Dude, what was the other couple of things that we wanted to talk about? There was
Tires.
Tires, yeah. So if you haven't checked it out, you got to go watch Tires.
Netflix.
6
episodes. They already upped the second season, so people that don't like to jump in, not sure if they're committing to something that's a sinking ship.
Yeah.
This is on a roll, baby. It's going to be back multiple seasons.
Yeah, and I felt bad because I only watched the first 4. Mm-hmm. And then people were like, dude, there's only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So then I went and watched 5 and 6.
Oh, you got that in? Yeah. So you got the chip then.
Yeah, I got the chip.
Yeah.
And Chip had told me ahead of time what happened and what his, but I didn't put it together all the way because you
don't have the perspective of the rest of the show yet. Yeah.
Yeah, so you see it and then you don't realize it's Chip because he has his glasses on and
it's not the Chip like it should be in an actor from a good actor. It's not the Chip you're hanging out with pre-show, post-show.
Right.
It's a whole different guy.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. It's credit to him as an actor. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? It wasn't just playing Chip. You know?
And it was also because I got to be on with Chip on Dad Meat.
That's right. He was on that episode with you. I forgot. Which
with
is so
Rainey
awesome.
and Butterly, who both also made
We're
appearances.
Both also on it. Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't realize because it just came up on their Facebook, but Butterly and Rainey just had their 10-year anniversary of being on the Tonight Show. They were there to promote their series on Comedy Central, Delco Proper.
Yeah, yeah.
Was also produced and filmed by McKeever, who did, and McKeever was an actor in it, just like he is on Tires.
I didn't realize
So
that.
all those guys, yeah.
That's so cool. That the coolest thing, and what that leads me to say is how damn cool Shane Gillis is for bringing talented people. He's not giving anybody something that doesn't deserve it, but the people that he came up with, he's giving them the work when he has his opportunity. That speaks highly of Shane Gillis. Like, super highly of Shane Gillis.
And dude, I thought it was weird that Matt McCusker wasn't in it.
But he likes.
He was in it. He was in it.
He was.
Who was he? He was the because then I saw the he was the security guard on the bike at the end with the when all those swimsuit.
Yeah.
With the.
I didn't put that together.
No, I didn't either until
the
I
car
saw
wash.
The homeless pimp taking I guess had taken pictures on site on like when they were filming.
Okay.
And tagged McCusker.
I didn't know that, man. I'm totally missing. And that's typical McCusker too, because he loves to be the behind the scenes guy. You know what I mean? And he stopped doing stand up for years while they were killing it on the podcast. I guess he's back now. I think.
Yeah, headlining.
Yeah, well, of course he is now.
Yeah.
I mean, they built that thing to a monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And great time to come back in. You know.
Yeah.
And he's a talented dude, so good. You know.
Yeah.
I love it. The fact that. Just there's so many like 2 people that we've had on the podcast were in that show with Chip and Shaner. That was last episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then and guys that have been here, Butterly, Rainey, Mary Rosinski.
Oh yeah. Karen Feehan. She was back in Rofo.
Yep. Yeah.
Her ass was one of the highlights of the whole show.
Yeah. Well, right.
And she's a very funny lady.
Dude, but Tommy Pope and
Pope and Chris.
Dude, and when
they were Pope was one of the Italian guys. That was so funny. With Schultz.
And also Schultz never came to Soul Joel's, but he did do a Soul Joel production in Hoboken.
I thought I remembered you working with him.
Yep. And then Stavi.
Yes.
Stavi did.
Stavi had a big role.
Yeah, but when Tommy Pope and Chris were here, they knew that was happening, but said nothing about it. Tommy, that was their first sold out show. Was here,
man,
ever doing together. They sold out.
Amazing.
But they said next year we can't wait to come back because we're gonna fill that ballroom.
Yes.
Which I was like, that's awesome. I'm not doubting you.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you have cooking?
Yeah, what do you know that I don't?
Yes. And that's the way I took it. I didn't say that out loud, but in my head I was like, that was way too familiar and confident for him not to have something valid in the works.
100%. Good read, dude.
Yeah.
And then so when did you actually find out that they were like all these people we know are in it?
So that was February 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was April sometime when
it was actually announced.
Right before it was announced.
Okay.
I talked to Chip.
Oh, okay, right on.
Chip talked to me because we have he's doing a fundraiser next week.
Yeah, Chip. We love Chip. Come see Chip, man. He's so awesome.
And we started figuring it out, and he told me about it. And
Chip
how
Chantry,
by
the way. I don't know if we ever said his last name.
He just got like last minute asked to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It was initially supposed to be on their Patreon or like their YouTube channel.
Wow.
But they did it right. They had like they had catering and everything.
They did the whole thing
on the scene, like just like a regular TV set,
like craft service.
It was craft services. Yeah, I was like, who cares? But it was.
Hey,
so it was legit.
That's awesome.
But
awesome.
but then after in post edit, it got picked up by Netflix.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I think it was all that time when obviously Shane had been doing Rogan regularly with Protect the Parks, and then by himself with Matt.
Yeah.
But countless times then hosted
Matt
SNL.
and Shane's secret podcast has blown up.
Yeah, and then the next, but all that stuff. But then the next day, no. But I'm saying being a guest on Rogan.
Yes, with you. I'm with you.
Oh yeah, and then hosted SNL.
Yes.
Doing all that stuff and selling out places.
That big full circle moment.
Full circle moment. But then, so I went to the cellar, saw him, not realizing that he's there promoting Netflix and the series, Tires, everything. The next night after I was there, he was throwing out the first pitch at the Phillies game, which, dude, is wild.
That's amazing, man.
And all that stuff. It
Amazing.
ended up being, it debuted at #1 on Netflix. It was like #1 for like a week.
And it got renewed like the day it
The
came
day
out?
before.
The day before, okay.
Came out.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy for those guys.
Got renewed on Hype.
So many talented people in that show. Shane just casting it with just funny person after funny person, and whoever else was involved in the casting. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, dude, and I went in I'm like, oh, it's always cool to see people that we've worked with or people that we know have come to Soul Joel's, been on it, but people I know even before that
Yeah.
do well. But I watched, I'm like, dude, it's funny.
It's funny. I don't really watch sitcoms anymore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
my day of sitcoms has passed me by mostly.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'll watch it because I love these guys. I watched all 6 episodes in one night.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's funny too because my girlfriend said that it has a very Office vibe, the way that they shot it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't pick up on, but then I now I'm watching, like, because of the algorithms, I like Shane's page and I'm following it, and I think it was either Netflix because they've been posting clips about it,
Okay.
or the Inquirer, like,
Okay.
covering it,
Yeah.
whatever it was promoting the thing, and some, which could be taken as a troll,
Okay.
but it was a comment, and it goes, "It's the Office for people that make grilled cheeses at night."
Oh, that's so funny.
It was obviously a callback from Shane's joke that he did on his last special.
Totally, man.
But
Totally.
tied in the Office, and then I go, oh, I guess she was right. It does have an Office vibe. Other people are picking up on it too.
Yes.
Which I didn't think about. Like a
Any workplace comedy
Yeah.
from now on, from 2002 on, or whenever that show debuted, is
Yeah.
going to be compared to it forever. But the cool thing is, yes, it has those elements, and that's a selling point in a good way.
Yeah.
It also brings its own uniqueness too. It's all over the map, and I love that.
I guess I just watch it. I was just watching it to be entertained. I wasn't thinking
you weren't
anything,
thinking
judging it.
about
Oh,
it.
yeah. I'm like, oh, that's cool because I know this person. That's funny. Anthony Moore,
Yeah.
he's in it, and all this. Like it's just cool to watch.
Yeah.
But I wasn't be like, this is awful familiar.
You're right, totally, man, totally.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%. You can see what they're saying. Like now, when I describe it to people, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's the Office. We're at a tire shop.
Yeah.
because that makes sense to people real quick.
Yeah, oh,
you know what I mean.
But dude, I start laughing when Shane just starts talking, or then doesn't talk, and was like,
Yes, the looks,
the looks. Yeah.
dude. And we might as well talk about this too, since we're on it. The full circle of Shane. I mean, getting canceled he got swept up in the most bullshit cancel of all bullshit cancels.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know the story, there was an Asian dude who got pissed at Shane for some reason. I don't know that part of the story. Decided to get on the Patreon and dig through the entire years and years worth of stuff to find something offensive. The best he could do was Matt and Shane were making fun. They were making fun of white people.
Yeah.
It was talking about old-time New York when it got sectioned off into different ethnic
Yeah.
towns, about the white racists who said, hey, let's give the Asian people their own town.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what got them busted. He did an Asian accent one time saying, oh, yes, master, I'll do whatever you say, that kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was busting on the evil of white people. And he got caught up. It was right when like Kevin Spacey and
All those
Harvey
guys.
Weinstein and all that stuff was going down.
Yeah.
And he got caught up in a firestorm. It was bullshit.
Well, do you think it's funny that one of the scenes has Asian customers in it?
100%. And don't think they didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Dude. Yes. The fact that he came back in 5 years later, because I saw him, dude. I don't know if I ever told you this. I know I told you I saw the Creeps with Kids where he came in unexpectedly, and that was awesome. He killed in Harrisburg, right near his hometown, and he slayed. But then I went and saw him a week later at Magooby's as a headliner,
Oh yeah.
and it wasn't a packed house, but it wasn't lightly attended. He did, because he that was his home base for a while too.
Yeah.
But I talked to him after the show, and he was you could tell he was bummed, like because that whole thing had just gone down. And then one thing he said that night, he wasn't to me, but it was when I was standing there, was, yeah, people keep trying to tell me it's a positive. I don't want to hear that. He's like, I really wanted to be on Saturday Night Live. Years later, it's a positive.
Here's a little inside baseball.
Oh, love it.
I have even more respect for Shane Gillis, knowing how it went down. He funded that tires, him and McKeever. And I'm not going to tell you how much. They funded it themselves.
They took the whole risk.
They took the whole risk.
That's incredible.
Thinking it was just going to be on their Patreon or their YouTube, and then it got picked up on Netflix. He doubled down.
I thought it was cool enough. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely. I mean,
dude, and took care of all. So they got paid their rates. Everyone got paid their rates. Just like me, when I'm like, all right, I'm going to pay the comics whatever amount. I'm going to sell the tickets. I'm going to figure it out.
Yep.
He did that.
Yeah, man.
Bankrolled it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I'm blown away. I'm so glad you said that.
People don't need to, like, you could say, like, oh, well, he had that. Still, for the amount that he did, he put his money where his mouth was and took care of all his boys.
And if that flopped,
believed. Yep.
If that flopped, it's not like, like Shane's doing really well right now, and we're all happy for him. It's not like he's Howard Hughes or something. You know what I mean? He can't afford to just eat a couple $1 million. Or, I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But I mean, he can't just afford to be pissing money away. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was a gamble, bro. This is a guy that got canceled by these Hollywood idiots 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And now they're calling.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Another episode of Bring 'Em Out. Man, this has been a lot of fun. Go to souljoes.com. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Come out to a show.